Went to a retreat and it was very, very productive. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and this is vlog number 109 for Monday, March the 11th, 2019. And I hope everybody had a good week. We had a great week. We went to a sewing retreat, and I talked a little bit about that yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it later on in the vlog today. And I also have a somewhat lengthy video clip of the whole experience. It runs about 20 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep what I'm talking about today short so this doesn't become a marathon session. So having said that, let's get right into what we did at the retreat. I took a whole pile of projects with me. My goal was to get my blocks done for 2 of the quilts that I had taken classes for, and the classes are now done. One of those quilts is the quilt from hell, as I call it. However, that was because of all the little pieces that had to go into it. But I was successful. I did manage to get all the blocks done for both quilts. Now, they're not put together yet for the top, and of course there's still much more to go on both of those quilts. But I'm pleased with the progress I made. And the whole weekend was a whole lot of fun. Everybody there were out to have a good time. A lot of creativity in the room, a lot of really interesting quilt designs, and I do a little bit of a walkabout later in today's video. I will show you what I saw at the retreat, and you'll see how much stuff we took to the retreat as well. And of course Walter went with me, and he got a fair amount done on a quilt that he's working on, and he's very, very meticulous about how things line up. So that took him a little longer than it probably should, but at least you know his stuff is extremely accurate. Can't say the same about mine always. I try. So anyways, before we get into all of that, let's do the YouTube channel of the week, and this one is about vacations and things like that, and it has nothing to do with crafting, actually. This week's YouTube channel of the week is called Don's Family Vocations. Don is a gentleman that lives in Ottawa, Canada, and he does regular reviews of various cruises he's been on and cruise lines. I find these very interesting because I like going on cruises, and I've been on quite a few myself, but Don sheds some light on the inner workings and what to expect when you book a cruise. He also shares some very interesting stories about people who have had adventures when on cruises, not always pleasant adventures, things like being left behind, being sick, things like that. He also has a list of tips and tricks and things to expect when you're going on a cruise, and I think this is very helpful for someone who's a first-time cruiser. So if you're planning a cruise in the near future, you might want to check out Don's Family Vacations. So, like I said, if you're thinking of going on a cruise at some point in time and have never been on one before, you might want to check out this particular YouTube channel. Okay, so the listing for that is below, as well as Stephen and Walter Live, and the book of the week, which we'll come to in a few minutes. So that takes us to what's pissing me off. Actually, nothing right now that I can say. So that cuts down on our time on this, so we can move on. Product reviews. All right, I ordered a large wool mat. This is a pressing mat. Now, on a previous vlog back some time ago, I showed you this particular mat, and it's great. It's a very dense and thick mat made of wool. And the advantage to that when you're pressing anything is that it's almost like you don't have to flip over what you're pressing because the wool mat holds the heat from your iron. And it gives a really nice press. And this is important to quilters because we're always pressing seams. And this really makes them lie down well with a minimal amount of effort. So I really like the small one that I had bought, But for larger projects, it's just not big enough. So I ordered a bigger one. Now, these are not a cheap item. This was the bigger one was well over $100. But, you know, it's worth every cent of it, I feel. And especially if you're somebody that does a lot of sewing or a lot of quilting and you need to press, I highly recommend investing in a wool mat. And they're available on Amazon as well as at probably most sewing stores or quilting stores. Okay, what else? Well, went to the retreat and got a swag bag of goodies, plus I bought a few things. I mean, can't help but buy. They had a little mini store set up. So I'm just going to show you some of the things. We got this little swag bag. It was in a fancier bag than this, but I just threw the stuff in a plastic bag. And we got some of these, which are always handy. These hold your bobbins to the tops of your spools of thread, so you can match your bobbin up with the thread. They're kind of handy. I use those quite a bit. This is something I have never used, but ironically, I won at the Guild a little device, looks like a water pen kind of a thing, that takes off markings you might make on your quilt. There's different products for marking on your quilt, so you know where to go for your quilting or your sewing or whatever. And getting those marks off, though, depends on what you're using. Well, this is an air erasable marker, and it basically disappears after about 24 hours. So it says. Haven't used one of these yet, so I'm going to have to test it on a couple of fabrics just to make sure it works. But it also says on the back of this that you can use a little bit of water, damp cloth, to take it off. So that other little device that I got, that I won at the last Guild meeting, I think will work in conjunction with this. So that was kind of, what's the term? Serendipitous? I think that's the term. Some other little things we got some little booklets and things. This is a pocket guide to needles, which I think will be very handy. This is also a guide, another type of needle guide as well. And what's this? Oh, and this is a, I'm not sure. I'm reading the French side. Okay. Okay, I think this is talking about threads from a company called Gutermann, a very popular thread brand, and which threads to use for which application. I don't usually use Gutermann. I use Aurifil, but nevertheless, might come in handy. These are little sticky tabs that you put on the backs of rulers so that they'll grip your fabric. Some rulers come with these already on them, others don't. So this will be handy. And what else was in the little bag? Curved, rust-proof, nickel-plated steel safety pins. And these have a curve in them, and this is for basting, for attaching the layers of your quilt sandwich together before you quilt it. I have never pinned a quilt in preparation for quilting. I've always used a spray basting, mainly because I find it faster than doing it with pins. But many people do use these, and these will come in handy for something, I'm sure. Oh, and of course we got a spool of Gutermann thread as well, which I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's always good to have a spare. What's this, off-white? Doesn't hurt. It's a good product. Gutermann's a good product. So what else did I get? Oh yes, and also in the swag bag there was some fabric from Northcott. Looks like a fat quarter. Kind of pretty. Kind of stuff that I like. And I think there was a pencil. Yes, there was a pencil, and it has, yeah, it's all done with little quilting patterns on it. That's kind of cute. So it's always nice to get a little gift when you go to a retreat. So then I bought a few things. Oh, I did win. I won this package of material. There's 42. It's called a charm pack. 42 pieces, 5-inch squares. But these are flannel. I've not worked with flannel before. So in back of my mind, I'm sort of thinking, when we go to Australia, more about that later, I'm going to be looking for some unique fabrics or things that I can make into another quilt. Back on our last trip a year ago to Australia, I collected linen tea towels and I created those into a quilt. I've still got a lot of those linen tea towels left over. So I'm going to look more for fabric that is kind of specific to Australia, if there is such a thing. And I'm thinking these colors would probably work very nice for that. I don't know why I think of Australia when I see these kind of colors, but I do. So I'm going to set that aside for something to do with Australia in a quilt. We'll see. I also picked these up. I've never used them. They are clips. They're like Wonder Clips. I use Wonder Clips all the time, but these ones are specifically designed for holding your binding when you're sewing it. And those of you that don't quilt, when you're putting the binding on your quilt, which is all around the outside edges, makes everything look nice and neat, it can be a bugger to keep it in place while you're sewing. Now, I usually use Wonder Clips, as I said, but these are specifically designed for bindings. They're a little longer, and apparently you can sew over them or something, I think. It says precise sewing, no need to remove clips. So I guess I'll figure out how that works. There's instructions on the back, so we'll see. I picked up some spray stuff for, fabric relaxer. It's kind of like a starch, but it's not a starch. And one of the ladies came and she made for all of us this cute little pin cushion, which was kind of nice of her to do. So she made quite a few of them because there were about 42 of us at the retreat. So that kept her busy. But this is really kind of cute, so I will use that. And I bought a roll, a jelly roll, they call them, of fabric. And it's all in these kind of colors, but these colors are ombre. I haven't taken them out yet to take a close look at them, but I do have a project in mind because I saw a lady making a quilt using these, and it was turning out beautiful. And I'm not sure, I think the Ultimate Sewing sells the pattern. I took a picture of the pattern, the cover of it, with my phone. So when I go into Ultimate Sewing later this week, I'll see if I can get that pattern, because it's really quite an interesting looking quilt. So I picked that up as well. And I think that's about it that I got from the sewing retreat. So as I said, the sewing retreat was a lot of fun. And a little bit later on, and near the end of today's vlog, I have a kind of lengthy video of the whole weekend, if you're interested. Okay, so that takes us to book reviews for the week. And this one is about making gift boxes. Now, this is actually designed for kids. However, I think it would be helpful for anybody. The instructions are very clear. There's different types of little boxes, boxes with drawers, boxes that are in various shapes, and it's all very clearly explained, all illustrated each step along the way. So I think this is a really great book. Now, here's the thing. I forgot I had it, like I do most things, and I don't know if I ever made any of these. But I got it. I think I was going to use it when I was teaching school for something, and I never got around to that. But anyways, I think it's a great book. You don't have to be a kid to use it. And I looked up the price. I don't know what I paid for it originally. Oh wait, up here it says it was $5.95. That's probably the American price. I looked it up on Amazon, and what did Amazon say? You can get it on Amazon.ca for $4. And if you go to the used section, there was a whole raft of prices that ranged anywhere from about $1 and up. So it's still fairly readily available, and it's kind of a neat thing to do, to make boxes. Sometimes they're great for gifts. If those of you that are card makers, you could make a box to put your cards in that you give to somebody, like a stationery set or something like that. So there's lots of things here I think that people would find interesting. So there you go, gift boxes by Linda Hendry. And I've put the link to the Amazon listing for this in the show notes below. Okay, what's that take us to now? Okay, so in my series, my continuing series of my art evolution, today I'm focusing on specialty art journals. So last time I showed you my main art journals, and I showed you my beginnings and where I've moved up to. But I have also done some specialty art journals, at least that's what I call them, specialty art journals, and I have a pile of them right here, and I thought I'd share some of these with you. So let's just move this off to the side and start with this. Now, this is commonly referred to as a junk journal, and it's kind of a cross between an art journal and an actual scrapbook. I made this myself, and it's just basically scrapbook paper and painted papers and jelly print papers that I've made into signatures, which are the sections of this little booklet, and I sewed them in. Now, you can see I haven't done much in this one lately, but you have some of my art journaling background techniques in here, and these pages are essentially just waiting for me to put in some elements. Now I have done that, and again, this is kind of a cross between scrapbooking and art journaling. So in here I had some elements left over from a paper pack that I just basically put together as a collage. Here I used some actual pictures. Again, these were pictures that I wasn't really putting in an album. They were leftovers, so I just played around with them. And here's some more. Some found objects here. There's some basically packaging and things like that. It's a good way to use up odds and pieces. Oh, my lips are tied today. Little bits and pieces from your stash that you may not use anywhere else, but you don't want to really just throw them out. Here I did some experimentation with sort of an interactive page, and so on. So it's kind of fun. They're kind of freeing because basically you're not afraid of messing up, because in its name itself it's called a junk journal. Now I haven't done much in this in a while. I should get back to that. Then I was playing around with other styles of albums as well. Here's another junk journal. This is made up of junk mail, as you can see. Again, some more leftover painted papers, jelly print, scrapbook, things like that. Now, I really haven't done anything in this one yet, but it's sitting here, a little coat of gesso on a page, and away we go. Then I got a little bit more sophisticated, tried a traveler's notebook size kind of thing, and I had these little digital downloads that came from, I can't remember the site now, but they're kind of whimsical. I bought them, and I thought they were kind of fun. They already came pre-colored. I just cut them out. And I guess in this one I was thinking more of something that I could use as a notebook, so I created these blank pages and just decorated them with some of those elements. And the pages in the background, again, are from scrapbook paper that I had laying around, and some of it's actually paper I made myself, and I added some washi tape to the edges as well. Again, you can see I really haven't done anything in this journal, but the concept of this would be that this would make a nice gift for someone. You can make it for them, you can customize it any way you want, and it's just something a little bit more fun. I put an elastic into it when I sewed in the signatures to keep it closed. Then I got experimenting with different shapes. You don't have to actually go out and buy yourself an art journal to work in. You can, but you can make your own as well. And why stay in the standard book format? Why not do something different? So this was an idea that was inspired by Mike Deacon, and it's just, I used very heavy cardstock, and I think I double layered it so I'd have double thickness. Actually, it's not cardstock, I think it's watercolor paper, and mounted it on a ring and cut out these circles. And actually I probably used my Cricut Maker to do that. And I flip it over. Here's the cover. That was the back. Here's the cover, a little collage. And again, I'm just doing what you would normally do in any art journal, except this one's round. And it's just something a little different. And it's sometimes a different shape actually inspires you. So if you're having a mental block, an artist block, then you might want to try something in a unique shape just to inspire you. And you can see I've got quite a few pages in this. They're a little warped. I just noticed that. Probably because of where I've had it put. But there you have it. So something a little different, a little bit more fun, and a little bit awkward to close. Okay, few years ago, Tim Holtz came out with these portfolios, and they're just manila pieces. I was just looking at this. I've kind of torn the cover on this where it's stored, and the idea was you can decorate it any way you wish. So I did. Again, it's a sort of collage techniques, a form of art journaling, and this opens up, and it's kind of cool because what I did here is I kind of used the techniques that I would use. Let me move this pile out of my way. I kind of use the techniques that I would use when I'm creating an actual album. So in a sense, this combines scrapbooking, album making, and art journaling. I have little cards here. This one's actually a pull-out piece that I created. I used one of the We Are Memory Keepers punch boards to create these little index type files, attached them together with washi tape. It's just a fun little element to sticks in this pocket. Some tags as well. In here I've got sort of an interactive element. It comes with these hinges that are scored, and they're all sewn in too, which is kind of nice. This makes this a very substantial piece when you get it all together because there's a lot of stitching holding things together. So I put in these little tags, flip across, another one, same thing. And this was a lot of fun to make. And it was a way to use up a lot of tags too. Now you don't have to do it with tags. I just happen to do that. Here's another little element that actually flips up and out. Now this basic element that's flipping out comes with the portfolio. It's already attached. I just did my decoration, added some pockets and things to it. And the same with this bottom. I can't get it all in the shot, but same with the bottom. It's got this flip down part. And I created a little booklet that I put inside it just for notes, and it's just fun. It has a magnetic closure. I installed that. So it keeps it closed, and then I put these little straps on it with some of Tim Holtz's metal words. It says Discoveries Collections. Just a nice little idea, which is a little different from the usual. Again, this is something that would make a very unique gift for someone as well. Or it would look nice sitting on your coffee table. Maybe a portfolio of pictures or things, or you could keep notes in it, whatever you like. Something like this might be nice to tuck into your book bag or briefcase where you've got papers for work or whatever. So these are different things that you can do with art journaling techniques, and as I said, these are kind of specialty items, and they combine basically scrapbooking and art journaling and album making all in one. So next week I think I'll look at I'm not sure what I'll look at. I think I'll start looking at the extensions to my art journals, like wall art and things like that. And my second series I'm continuing with today is the Tunnel Card Part 2. So you'll see what I've been doing over the last week with that. So now is the time to cover the actual pages. And I have the first page here. Now there's a couple of ways you could do this. I want to put decorative paper onto both sides of this. And you could simply cut out your card shape using your paper cutter on your decorative paper. It measures 5 by 7 in this case. But if I want a little bit of a border, I would reduce that by 1/4 of an inch. So instead of 5 by 7, it would be 4.75 by 6.75, or 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And that would give me a nice border along the outside. That's easy, but the tricky part is this oval in the center. Cutting out your piece so it matches that exactly, or even more complicated, cutting it out so that you have a nice little 1/8 of an inch or so border around here. So the black would show, in other words, give it a nice framing. Yes, you can do this by hand. You could draw it out, make a template, that kind of thing. What I decided to do instead was to recreate this actual shape on my Cricut Maker. And then for each page from there, they each reduce in size. The oval, the page itself, stays the same size. I just need to make half-inch increment adjustments on the size of on the height and on the width of my oval, and that works out really well. The other advantage of doing it on the Cricut Maker is after I have it done, I can save it and I can use this again over and over to create future tunnel cards or even tunnel books. So that's what I did. I created my template on my Cricut Maker, and then it was just a simple matter of selecting my decorative paper, putting it into the Cricut Maker, and it cut it out for me. And that's what I have right here. So now I need to adhere it to this foundation piece, and that's easy enough. Now this is going to be the side I want to show up, so I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to grab my 1/4 inch two-sided tape. You could use glue. Again, you got to be careful with your glues though, because your glues, certain kinds of them, will cause your cardstock to warp. And I think in a project like this especially, you don't want any warpage, since you have a layer, you're building layers upon layers here. So I'm just putting down my double-sided tape, and I'm just putting it close to the edge all the way around. That's all that's really needed for this. And I am going to varnish it with my bone folder. As I said before, this helps the tape to adhere well to the cardstock. And then I'm going to take off the protective backing, and I just use my paper piercer for this. Your fingernails, if they're long enough, can work as well with this. And now it's just a simple matter of centering it. And the way I center it is I'm not really looking at the edges of the card. I'm going to try and center it around the oval so that I have equal amount, roughly equal amount around each side. I'm just eyeballing it, and that's okay, because even if it's off by a little bit, it's not going to make any difference, because we're going to be layering pieces on this. So there you go. I have that side done, and I'd already have done the back side. So let's get the whole, I've done all the other pages as well, so let's take a look at the whole thing. Now, of course, I do not have any of these pages yet adhered to my hinges over here, and I'm not going to do that until I start layering my little cutout pieces. But you can see here, you get an idea of what this is going to look like. And then, of course, on the last page, if I can get this up here, on the last page, I just have a 4 3/4, no, sorry, a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 card, and I cut 2 of those out, one for the very back and one for the back of the card itself. Now, I do have a spine piece on here, but I think I'll wait until later to actually put something on that. So there, I have the basic foundation of my tunnel card done. Flip it over this way. And you'll see too here, it sort of gives it more depth by leaving a bit of a black border around each of those ovals, because it looks more like a shadow effect. And I think it will just give it depth when these are adhered to the hinges. So the next thing we need to do is start building the layers of each page. So next week we'll carry on with getting the actual pieces that I've already fussy cut out of the paper onto each page of the card. Okay, so events in the past week. Nothing new about my mother. Everything is fine there, so I think we can just move on from that. We went to an Aurifil seminar, and if you don't know what Aurifil is a very good thread. It's the kind of thread I use for all of my quilting. It's an expensive thread. It runs about $14 a spool. Now, there's a lot on a spool. There's about 1,300 meters on a spool. They come in about 270 different colors. And right now, they're from Italy. It's an Italian company that makes it. They have an office in Chicago, and they just opened up an office I think in Alberta. And so what they're doing right now is they're kind of going around to all of the various quilting stores in Canada and giving this special seminar about their thread. And they have a lot of them out there for display, and you can purchase them. So we went to the one that was being sponsored by Ultimate Sewing, our local sewing store, as you know. and it was very informative. The owner of the company was there, and she does speak Italian, but she speaks English as well. So they showed us how their thread is produced. It's Egyptian cotton. It's very high quality thread, as I said. And then we had an opportunity to purchase at special seminar prices. You know how that works. You know, different collections of their thread. And yesterday on Stephen Walter Live, we showed one of those collections. Both Walter and I did buy a collection each. Now, these are not cheap, okay? You get 12 large spools of Aurifil thread in a collection, and they usually run anywhere from about $180 to $192, $193 for thread for 12 spools, okay? So, but they had it on special for $156. That is still a good deal when you're buying that much thread. I mean, Ultimate, they had their huge box. It had small spools of thread in it, but there were 270 of them, every color they have. It was a gorgeous box it was in. It had drawers and things like that. That was on for a special price too, $1,500. So needless to say, I did not buy one of those, although I was damn tempted. I can tell you that, because they're so pretty, really. But would you ever use all of those colors? No, I don't think so. But yeah, if I had $1,500 I didn't know what to do with, I would have bought it. Yeah, but I can think of other things I could put $1,500 towards, like my trip to Australia, for example. So anyways, that was really nice. We did get a little swag bag there of some samples of various types of threads that they have, so that was great. And what else? Okay, so that takes us up to the sewing retreat. As I said, it was over 4 days. So I did do a little video of it. The first part of the video is going to show you what we took to the sewing retreat, and you're going to be a little bit wowed like that from that. We took more stuff for 4 days at a sewing retreat than for 4 weeks in Australia. Now, mind you, we took 3 sewing machines with us, and a lot of kits and a lot of supplies and things like that. So yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I did go around and check out what all the other ladies were doing, and you'll get a chance to see that, and my comments about the location of the retreat as well. So watch this. Okay, so we're about ready to load up the car for our first sewing retreat with Ultimate Sewing. And, you know, here you go. Here's a few of the things we have in bags. Doesn't look like much, does it, Walter's sewing machine? But this is one pile. This is the next pile. And yeah, not over yet, because look down here. There's the other pile. We're taking 3 sewing machines, 2 tables, all kinds of things we've put together to work on. And we've got our clothes, and we've got food for the snack table, and you name it, we've got it. You think we were going for a year. We don't pack this much to go to Australia for a month. So I'll let you see what it looks like later on when we get there. Okay, so we've got the car loaded up now, and it's filled to the brim. And like I said, it looks like we're going for a year. And now we're taking the back roads to where this retreat is. It's about 90 minutes away from where we live. And you can see it's March, but we have lots and lots of snow here. As far as temperature is concerned, what's the temperature?
As normal.
Well,
it's -10.
It's -10, and actually it's a sunny day, so it's a nice day for this. Even if it is a little bit cold, but hey, we're coming close to spring, so who knows. So we'll see what we see when we get there. Okay, so we're still on the road to the retreat, but thought you might like to see what this part of our area looks like. These are the drumlins of Northumberland County in the distance. It's very picturesque, if you like the trees. And here's another shot of the wilderness, so to speak. Come to Canada in March. It's bombing. Okay, so we've arrived at the retreat. We've got everything all set up, and you can see Walter's contemplating what he's going to do next. Been here a couple of hours already, and people are filtering in. And this is Walter's first retreat. What do you think, Walter?
Okay, so far.
Okay, you can see his enthusiasm, but for Walter, that's good.
It'll be much better.
Yeah. And this is Shirley, the owner of Ultimate Sewing. Say hello, Shirley.
Hello.
Hello, Shirley. And then these are all the ladies coming in. You can see we've got cutting areas set up, and we've got everybody sitting in their groups, busily working. We haven't quite got into the full swing of things yet because, as I said, we've only been here a few hours. This is Donna sitting over here, and the store is set up, as you can see. Lots of goodies to look at and probably buy, because I'm sure there's probably something I can find to buy. So far we're having a good time, and I think we're going to have an even better time as we all get into the full swing of the retreat. Right, Walter?
Yeah.
So it's Friday morning around 8 o'clock. We're up to go in and start sewing. This is where we're staying. And it's a whole area here. You can see that they have this hotel, motel kind of thing. And then they have mobile home kind of trailers, which I think are lent out in the summertime. There's a trailer park over there. It's quite extensive. And there's little things down here by the water. The sun is up. It's very bright out today. Kind of pretty.
The lake's in the distance, but you can't tell it's covered in ice. So.
Yeah, down at the end of this road, as you can see, that's the lake that we're on.
But it's covered in ice and snow.
And it's a very nice morning. It's a bit brisk, but not too bad, really. No wind, so that keeps the wind chill factor down. And we're off to go back up. Let's walk up the road a little bit here. And Walter's checking the temperature right now to see what it is. But you can see we're kind of out in... It's minus 15 according to Walter. It doesn't feel like minus 15, but there's no wind, so if there was a wind it would feel a lot colder. But it's
brisk, and actually it's really nice winter.
Yeah, it's a really nice winter day because you can see there's really not a cloud in the sky. Well, some little wispy ones over there. But up here where the chapel is, that's where we're inside, where we're sewing. And what?
Yeah, I was going to say it's one of those winter days that you actually like.
Yeah, these kind of winter days you can kind of like here in Canada. Unfortunately, in our area, we don't get many that are exactly like this. It's pretty. And who knows how long the snow will be here. This is the, what's this, March the 9th? March the 8th, not March the 9th. So, you know, we're past the first week of March already. We're moving towards March the 21st, which is the official day, traditionally, we think of for spring. And on a day like today, you don't mind it too much. So, we're going to get in a couple of hours of sewing, and then we have brunch, and away we go from there. Okay, so it's Saturday morning, and everybody's up. We haven't had brekkie yet, but I'm going to take you around and show you what people are working on. One lady here is doing, it looks like, paper piecing, all hexagons and shapes. And let's see what Donna's working on. Donna's looking at fabric. Right, say hello, Donna.
Hello, Stephen.
Yeah. We're supposed to say hello, Donna, but never mind, never get it right. So this is Donna. Donna
Hello,
is the organizer,
Donna.
the whole bit. She's the superior, mother superior of the quilt retreat. There you go. And let's go around and see what other people are working on. And we have a lot of little pieces here.
Oh, how about we don't take my picture?
No pictures, please.
Blowing
Just your
my
quilt.
nose.
And what are you working on?
A row quilt.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, there we go.
This is one row,
Oh,
and then that's another row.
well, that's going to be pretty. Oh, look, I see half square triangles. Yeah. Yay.
It's a square triangle. This.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
know
a half
the
square
names.
triangle.
I'm a newbie.
Oh, well, so am I, but.
And then there's that. Today we're working on these awful things.
Oh.
They're awful.
Yeah.
They're evil.
They're evil. And what do we have over here? We're pressing. Ooh. Any Y seams in that?
Nope, it's all straight lines.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I hear Y seams are something to fear.
They are.
So,
They are.
And now, did you get your Little Mermaid quilt done?
I'm just putting the border.
Let's hold that up and see. Look at this.
But this goes on the edge.
And that's going, oh, is that the border?
No, and this,
Oh, it's another.
and then this goes on.
Oh, so it's not just Little Mermaid, it's the princess.
Oh, the princesses, yes.
So are you making these for a grandchild?
Yes.
Okay.
She's 5.
Oh, 5. Oh, she's going to love it. Isn't that nice? That's lovely. And look at this. Okay, so this is embroidery the old-fashioned way. Hand done. Look at the detail. If I did that, there would be blood.
There is blood.
Oh yeah, you got some blood too? You bet. Okay, so even ones that are experienced have blood, so that's good to know. And you're looking like you're making a little tiny pieces. Log cabin?
Log cabin, yes.
Oh, that's nice.
1.5 inch strips.
Oh God, you're brave.
Yeah.
You're brave.
Too brave.
And now we have something a little bit more traditional. Here we have hand quilting. Look at that. Now, how long have you been working on this? Forever?
It's only a Wednesday project.
The Wednesday project, except for I wanted it finished.
Oh,
So now it's a retreat.
a retreat project.
Yes.
Oh, you have the patience of a saint. And you're doing some hand stuff. This is the hand table,
Yeah.
I guess.
So, I'm just learning.
You're just learning.
She's even more ambitious. She hand sews all her seams.
Oh my God.
And I'm a tatter, so I put
Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty. Well,
all kinds of stuff.
oh, gee, oh, is that a vintage?
It's an old
Piece?
craft,
Yeah.
yeah. It's an old craft.
Oh yeah, some vintage lace.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that'll be
just did
pretty.
it yesterday, so I
Oh, you
can't-
made it? Oh, it's not that vintage.
No, it's an old craft. and-
Oh wow. Oh geez, you do some really fine work. Oh,
Thankful I still have fairly good eyes.
yeah, you need good eyes for that. Well, I'll never get to that stage. I know that. So let's see what's going on over at the cutting mats.
Lots of time. She's 92.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, at least 100 years more. And did you figure out your? Did you figure out your problems where it wasn't?
I took out a bit of, I pulled it apart and took out a piece, and now I'm out ever so slightly over here. This is fine up there. This is fine.
Yeah.
I have to pull it out because it's like 1/8 of an inch out, but enough to.
Yeah, I had the same problem, so I think you're right. I think there's something in the pattern.
Is slightly wrong.
Because where your spots were,
Yeah,
where my spots were.
Those two and those two. This is probably me just not cutting it right.
That's
just
you
me.
just fudge it.
For your,
Yeah. No.
for the hanger, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Look
sorry.
at
Well, here,
that.
we should show
Oh,
it to
yes,
you.
hold it. Oh, jeez. That's incredible. That's all fabric. Look at that. What a way to use up your scraps, eh?
Well, actually, it's a big piece of fabric.
Oh, so you cut it.
You accordion pleat it,
Okay.
tie it with string, bend it over, tie it with string, and soak it for 24 hours. Wring it out, let it dry, throw it in the dryer and let it dry, and it will stay like that.
And it'll stay like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to try that someday. I love the dimension in it. That's beautiful.
Thank you. It was Pat Campbell who came up with that idea.
That's great. Wow. So much creativity. And what do we got going today?
I'm actually putting my
Oh, this is yours over here. Oh, look at that.
arms now. I'm stitching them together.
Wow. I love those colors.
Yeah.
The teal and the...
I love the pattern.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of my husband's favorite color and mine, and it just happened to be a nice quilt. So I'm
And-
actually doing one for myself.
What, would he have any say in the color, though, really?
Orange, yeah, orange.
Oh,
is
he
his
loves
favorite.
orange?
He loves everything. He loves orange.
See, that's a color a lot of people stay away from, orange.
Yeah, but he loves it. So
Well, as long as he loves it.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh, here we go with the ombre. Ombre. Look at this. I bought a roll of that.
So did I.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. I'm just so excited about it.
But, yeah.
And it's looking.
Yeah, it's going to look fantastic. Now, did you get the pattern here?
No.
No, you got.
No, Patty got it.
I got it at
That's
a different place. Yeah.
Oh, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who makes that pattern? Needle in a haystack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look for that one because I bought some of that fabric too.
And it's an easy pattern, though.
Even better. Even better.
After the one that you just did?
Yeah, I know. Today I'm working on a totally different project.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're moving on?
Yeah, well, I got my blocks done for the quilt from hell. What are you putting together?
My advent calendar.
Oh, little sock. Well, that's a cute idea.
So they all came as a like a panel, right?
Oh, yeah.
So.
And then just put them together. That's kind of a cute idea.
But I'm insisting on lining them.
Oh, okay. You're just a sucker for pain.
Yeah, I'm going up that level. Insisting on lining them.
Sucker for pain.
Yep, pretty much.
And take a look at this vintage-looking sewing machine. That's really cool. And what? Yeah. And what are you working on?
I'm working on Women of Courage.
What's it called again?
Women of Courage.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't know where my final picture of it is, but anyway, Women of Courage. So each block has a square.
Oh, okay.
It has a square, and it's a story. Like this one is Susan B. Anthony. So they tell the story of Susan B. Anthony.
Right.
And then so these are some of my blocks I've already finished. So,
Oh, I like the colors. They're very vintage-like.
hey, that's what they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, very vintage. So I have a few of them done. And then before that, I did this. So
Oh, let's see this.
this is for my sister's 60th birthday. This way.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Thanks.
Wow.
So yeah, so I was just quilting it yesterday.
Are you quilting on a machine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's gorgeous. She's gonna love
Thanks.
that. Does she know she's getting that, or is that gonna be a gift?
Well, I bought it 3 years ago for her, so
Oh.
she's forgotten by now.
That's the best thing about Alzheimer's, eh?
Exactly.
New people every day.
Exactly.
And you're doing a lot of strips here.
Oh yeah, I'm just doing it's a baby quilt. These are going to be machine embroidered.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see that
Yep.
very well, but
Oh, that's
anyway,
cute.
yeah. So it's just strips, and then you
So are
insert. These are like little blocks that you join together in
But how are the elephants applique?
applique. Yeah, machine embroidered applique.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, it's a
I have
riot.
to, I know people say, I will.
Yeah. They
someday,
have a
but
great
that's gonna
sale
be-
on Designs by Juju.
Oh yeah.
Their sets are $1. So
Oh
check it
geez,
out.
well that's good, especially because I've never done it. I'm not wasting a lot of money in it when I blow it.
They got a lot of sets.
And here's a series. Is this a quilt as you go kind of thing?
Oh, is this a no, it's done on telephone. Book
Oh, it's paper
pages.
piecing.
Well, it's not actually paper piecing, it's foundation.
Oh, okay.
It's,
I get the two mixed up because I have done foundation before, but I have seen the telephone book idea.
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you get a telephone book?
well, we still get them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're from Brampton, so
Oh, okay.
we still get them, but
That's going to
Yeah.
look great.
yeah.
I did one once, but I used I used deli paper actually.
Oh,
on
that
it,
worked.
and that worked
Yeah.
too. But I just did, straight line kind of stuff. But
Yeah, well, this is just strips.
yeah, but it makes it nice and even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you.
And what do we got over here? The party girls are over here. There goes one of the party girls right there. And what are you working on?
I'm making a bag.
Oh, she's making a bag. Oh, it's the bag, ladies. Over here. There we are. So you're making another one for Patty?
No, this was for myself.
Oh, this is for yourself. Okay. But Patty will take credit for it, won't you, Patty?
Yes, I will. No problem. No, she can't because she didn't even start
I
this
didn't
one.
start it. That's right. I
She
have
only
to
takes credit when she
start.
starts.
And now you have to see this. This is a unique idea, and it was your husband that makes them, right?
Yeah.
So this lady's husband, I forgot your name.
Becky.
Becky's husband makes these, and they sit on a portable table, and your sewing machine is inset into it, and then you've got all the flat space. I think that's ingenious. He really should manufacture these.
Don't be surprised if it happens.
Patent pending.
Problem is he also has a job.
Oh, well, He's just got to get over that.
And yeah, well, I know. And each one has it fits the machine perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so mine's different than Patty's is different.
So they're custom.
They're custom.
They're custom. It's a great idea. Are they heavy?
No.
Oh, even better.
It's got a carry handle. It's got a carry handle.
Oh, okay.
You should have seen, and mine comes with a bag. I have a bag for mine.
Oh.
And then you put all your cords and stuff underneath, inside it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Cushy thing when you're coming. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, that's a great idea.
Anyways, you should see this at home.
It'll be very popular. Okay, so what do we got over here? Okay, here's the queen of mini quilts.
Yes.
Mini blocks. Look at this.
Yes.
You have patience of a saint too.
I've never done it before. It's Kim Deal. It's pint-sized. Is the name of it. Finish is 20.5 by 20.5.
So will you use that like a wall hanging?
I was thinking for end tables.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Cover my
okay.
end tables, yeah. Be fun.
I like the colors. It's got a 1930s style to it.
The Hendry glass fabrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really nice.
I've never made anything that's like those...
reminds me of rustic, like cabiny kind of, you know, like a
yeah.
kind of look. Yeah.
It's nice. It's pretty.
Thank you.
This is the big boss's spot. She must still be in bed. We won't talk about her. And over here.
Her was missing.
Oh, she's gone. She's escaped from us. Oh, and over here we've got the Canadiana theme.
A little late, but on its way.
Oh well, it'll be ready for the next 150 years.
That's right.
Oh, look at that. That turned out nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, these were the special panels they put out on the 150th
Yep.
and whatnot. That looks good.
So it's going to look like this. I still have a couple more borders to do.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, but I got all my maple leaves done.
Oh, well, okay, you're ahead of the game then.
That's right.
So will you use it as a wall hanging or as actual quilt?
Wall hanging, so I can seasonal, right? So
Yeah,
I can
right,
Put
so
it
you
up
put it
at
up.
July. I'll be ready for July
You'll be
this
ready.
year.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we have Walter. Yeah, Walter, what are you working on this weekend?
Stripes.
Hold up your stripes. There he is. He's doing strip piecing here. Where's your other panel? Hold your other panel up. And then these will be cut down, won't they? And then relined. It's pretty fabric though. I really like that fabric. So that'll look nice. And I'm working on the cabin redo from that class that I mentioned I took before, and I haven't got them finished yet, and that's what I'm working on today. So there you have it. That's our sewing retreat this weekend. It's been lots of fun. This is our last full day. We finish up tomorrow on Sunday, and we've been here since Thursday. And here's a couple of quilts that we've got laid out. Sort of a little mini quilt show here.
Yeah, isn't it nice? She just made that up herself, the pattern.
Okay, so the retreat has come to an end. It's Sunday afternoon. We just had a large roast beef lunch, and we're heading our way home. Now, of course, the weather today, every day since we've been at the retreat, has been very nice. Cold, but nice. But today it is, well, it was freezing rain this morning. Now it's just sort of rain, and there's ice on this part of the road, and it's just messy and
in 300 meters, turn right on Lake Hurst Road.
Yeah, that's our little guide there on it. So anyways, Walter's trying to watch the road here because it is slippery and there's a few trucks and things coming up. Oh, sorry about the bounce, but that's the nature of the road. So yeah, it was a good 4 days. I got some stuff accomplished. I think Walter got some stuff accomplished. Did you get some stuff accomplished?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And that was good. And we can do it again next year. The place they had it at was no frills, no thrills, really. It was pretty basic. But then again, we weren't there for the amenities and that kind of stuff. We were in sewing all day and into the night as well. So that was okay.
That road here is okay. 10 kilometers on Lake Hurst Road.
The road here is much better now. We were sort of in, because it's out in the sticks a little bit. Anyways, it was fun, and our name is on the list for next year, so when they decide, it's going to be about the same time next year, and we'll have to pay a deposit, and that's fine, because this year we were on the waiting list, but we didn't have any problem getting in. But now we're guaranteed a spot if we want it, so that's good. I definitely come back next year, and now that we've done it once, we know what to expect and can probably plan what we're taking a little bit better. We took a lot of stuff we didn't need. I took a whole bunch of kits. Well, I got what I wanted to get done, and that was good. But I had these other kits I thought I'd have more time, but of course you don't.
For me, I got a little bit more confident with sewing, so.
Yes, Walter was putting his strips together for his next fabulous quilt. And we gave the girls a little show last night, Saturday night. I'm not going to show you the video of that. But needless to say, our alter egos, Gladass and Aloysius Mudslinger, did show up. And we'll talk about that on Stephen and Walter Live. And probably by the time you see this, we've already talked about it on Stephen and Walter Live. Because now as we head home, we got to get home, get unpacked, get things organized, and get on the air for Stephen and Walter Live. So I hope you enjoyed that video. As I said, we really enjoyed the retreat, and we're signed up to go to next year's when it happens as well. And the ladies are fun. They're very creative. They're very warm and welcoming. It was just a great time all the way around. Okay, so what's coming up? Australia. All right, so 1 week from today, we will be getting on the plane to fly to Brisbane, Australia. We'll be gone almost a little over 3.5 weeks. Now that presents a little bit of a problem when it comes to my vlogs and to Stephen and Walter Live. We will be doing a Stephen and Walter Live this coming Sunday at 4 p.m. as usual, but that may be our last live for a while. And we are going to attempt to do some live broadcasts while we're in Australia. But as you know, if you were with us last year when we went to Australia, it's hit and miss as to what the internet connections might be like where we're staying, and we have no control over that. We will try where we think we have the speed, the upload speed for that. We may post some videos as well of our trip. Again, all of this is going to depend on internet connections. I'm planning to do a vlog next Monday as well, because we don't leave. We've got a pickup service coming to take us to the airport around 2:30 in the afternoon on Monday. Our flight doesn't go out until about 7 o'clock that night. So I am going to try to get in a vlog next Monday. But for the next little while, it's going to be probably hit and miss. And when we do go on live, it could be any time of the day for us. But of course, if you miss a live one, if we're successful with a live one, you can always watch the replay because it'll be posted on YouTube. And as I said, I am going to try and upload every now and then some short videos of what we did on our trip along the way as well. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that. I hope we'll be able to do some of those. So anyways, we're looking forward to the trip. And yep, so this week is let's get our act together, get everything organized so we're ready to go next Monday. So I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.